Hey, Dave. Oh, hey. How's it going?
Pretty good. I just finished up the rough for the first 9 levels, so all we need is some QA testing and we'll be good for the next batch.
That's why you're my number one.
Stop.
Alright. Well, we ship tomorrow.
What?
Yeah, the game went gold already.
But we're not even halfway done.
Yeah. No, we ship tomorrow.
Dude, this isn't funny.
The fuck is this?
Hey, it's me, ShbeblyTheGreat. Always letting you know if you should shelve it or trash it. So, I'm playing Enter the Dragonfly on the floor because I just can't be comfortable playing this game. You know, it's weird. I've had this game for years and years. I grew up playing it, and I hate it. I can recognize that it's a bad game, but it baffles me that so many people love this game, adore this game, and demand that it gets a remake. See, I understand that any game can have a following, no matter how bad. Hell, I think Sonic 06 is fun. We know they shouldn't be remade. They're bad, and it's okay that they're bad. But this game specifically keeps getting waves and waves of remake requests. But why? So since it's been years and years since I've actually played this game, I decided to do myself and you guys a favor and give this game a fair review. No bias, no influence, nothing. Just me and the game. In fact, I'll be giving this game a big advantage. Since the PS2 capture looks like utter garbage, I decided to run the game through Dolphin with the CPU overclocked and the resolution set at 1080p. What that means is the game will look very sharp and run at a locked 60 frames per second, eliminating that horrid frame rate. My PC is plenty powerful enough to run this game without any hitches, so the game is looking and running a lot better than it does on real hardware. Does that make a difference? Well, let's find out.
This is probably going to be the shortest story summary ever on this channel. So, after the events of Spyro 3, everyone's celebrating a party or something. It's hinted that it's a celebration about dragons getting their dragonflies, and I really like that. That's a really fun concept. The baby dragons from Spyro 3 are growing up and getting their own dragonfly. That's adorable. Then, suddenly Ripto. And I know everyone on the face of the fucking earth makes the same joke around here. I thought I dropped you in lava. And I mean, Bowser. Am I wrong? So they come here, say blah blah blah, I'm evil, and a whole lot of standing around happens. Like, no one does anything. They stand, they talk, that's it. No one fights or does anything of interest. And the entire time, this weirdly forced, bouncy, squash and stretch animation style just gets more and more awkward. Like everything that's attached to Ripto is flopping around like it's made of rubber. Then Ripto makes all the dragonflies disappear because apparently dragons can't do much without them or something. Not really sure how that works, but I'm sure we can make up our own reasons since the game doesn't tell us. So now we just don't have our buddy, and I like that setup. We're all alone without our best friend from 3 games, and now we have to go out and fight. There he is. Okay. I'll go fuck myself. Also, I'd like to mention this god-awful music just screams before cutting off in the first cutscene. Then the game starts, and that's it. There's really no more plot than this. There's one more cutscene where Ripto just kills Gulp and Crush for some reason, and that's it. Moving on. So how would I explain the gameplay of Enter the Dragonfly besides unfinished? It's basically Spyro 3, but with dragonflies instead of eggs. It's like if the eggs ran away from you. At the beginning, Bianca shows up once to tell you that the dragonflies are shy and will run away if you get near them, but they're anything but shy because these little fuckers actively taunt you and then run away. So which one is it, Bianca? Are they shy or just assholes? And remember with the eggs, you just walk up to them and you get them. Here you have a new ability, Bubble Breath. Woo! And you have to run up and catch the dragonflies in a bubble. Cute concept. Absolutely broken mechanic. For some reason, the hitbox for the bubble breath is at the base of Spyro's mouth, so you can't catch them unless you touch them instead of the bubbles touching them. That means the main collectible for this whole game runs away from you and it's too difficult to catch normally. Awesome. People want this. Oh yeah, speaking of bubble breath, that's something introduced in this game that I actually really like. Spyro can now use different breath abilities. We have fire, bubble, ice, and electricity. This mechanic will go on to be used in almost every other Spyro game after this, so good job, game. I think besides bubble, ice is my least favorite, mainly because every other breath will kill an enemy right away. There's an extra step with ice, since you freeze them, then you have to hit them. Electricity is my favorite in this game because it comes out faster and enemies die quicker. Now, Spyro can do just about everything he could do in Spyro 3. Charge, glide, head bash, etc. Except the head bash is used like once, just like Bianca. And Moneybags. Yeah, he only shows up in the first level. But the biggest difference between Spyro 3 and Spyro 4 is how goddamn slow everything is. Holy hell, it's ridiculous! Every time you break a basket, kill an enemy, anything involving a gem is such a sluggish crawl. See, in the other games, when you charge an enemy or a breakable object with a gem, it would automatically come to you and you could keep the pace going. Not here. Charge anything and the gem spawns wherever the enemy poofs away, not where you hit them. So after hitting an enemy, you have to chase them until their animation ends just to get the gem. And these levels, oh good god, they're boring. Instead of portals to go to new levels, you just stand on a platform. Okay, I guess. The first level though is really cool. It's all dojo themed and it fits the theme with the game's logo, and that's really the only one. Literally the entire theme of this game based on the logo and the title screen is wasted after one level. But it's not that bad of a level. I know everyone shits on this game and we'll get into that, but this is easily the most polished level in this entire game. It's not bad. I mean, as polished as you can get with this. More on that later. And the second level isn't really that bad either. It's themed after aliens and farmers. It's cute, but that's really it. Really, after that, it's nothing more than just bland and mediocre level design. I mean, most of them are just rehashes of levels from Spyro 2 and 3. You guys remember Cloud Spires? Or Icy Peak? Or Honey Speedway? And speaking of level design, it is just way too open with nothing going on. You're usually zigzagging to collect all the gems since the area is so big, but it doesn't really matter because the number of levels that are actually in the final game is unacceptable. Let's do some quick math. Spyro 1 had 6 homeworlds with 29 levels. Spyro 2 had 3 homeworlds with 27 levels. Spyro 3 comes in with 4 homeworlds and 33 levels total. Spyro 4 over here has 1 homeworld with a grand total of 9 levels. This game, which at one point cost around $50, only had 9 total levels to show. I don't care how big of a fan you are of this, that is completely unacceptable. What happened to all the kids who got this game for Christmas? They'd probably beat the game the same day they opened it. Well, there goes $50 on something that lasted a total of what, 3 hours? People want this.
Now you could say, oh, it's because the game was rushed. And honestly, no shit. That's the reason we hate this game. It's rushed, it's unfinished, and it was marked up at full price. The developers of this game only made one game their entire existence. This one. With both teams having a huge language barrier and barely any communication with each other, I'll never understand why Universal didn't just assign this to a new team. Preferably one with more experience to handle an IP that's worth millions.
And I really feel bad for people who had to play this game normally. I know this game running on real hardware chugs with the frame rate, which makes these boring levels even harder to get through. But I will say, having the game run at a locked 60 frames per second makes it a bit more bearable. It doesn't excuse the fact that it's still bland overall. Now, going back to the first level being as polished as you could get with this game, allow me to elaborate. Spyro 4 is a giant, broken mess of a game that I can't understand why people defend. As I stated before, I had this game for years and years. I grew up with it, and I'm not coming at this game with the mindset of every other YouTuber. I sat down and I gave this game the best chance it could to show me something that was worth my time. Just about every single level in this game, something broke. Originally, I went to record this on my PS2. I loaded the game up, and within the first few seconds of the game running, it broke. And all I did was pause the fucking game. That's it. I didn't time anything, I didn't put in a command, I didn't take the disc out, nothing. I paused it, and it broke. You can't make this shit up. Well, maybe that's just the PS2 version, I hear you saying. It was also on the GameCube, right? Maybe that's a little better. Don't worry. Regardless if you're playing this on the PS2 or the GameCube, you'll run into the same shit. If you follow me on Twitter, you'll know what I'm about to get into. And real quick, I want to give a huge thank you to Canadian Guy A and the Spyro Universe Twitter account. If it wasn't for them, these clips wouldn't have gotten the attention they have now. Now, let's head back to the first level. Again. You starting to get sick of it? So, like Spyro 3, the levels have mini portals that you can go in and do challenges. And for some reason, this dojo level has a military-themed mini portal. It doesn't really make sense, but whatever. It controls like ass and you can easily cheat it. And right after exiting the portal, Spyro just kind of slides around for a bit. But that's not the weird thing. The weird thing is right after that happens, Spark starts to T-pose. Like, for a while. I've never seen anything like this, but don't worry, it gets better. Coming back to the only homeworld, we kinda see Hunter do this. I forgot to mention, this game does something I actually really like. So in Spyro 2 and 3, NPCs would just talk to you in every level, but Spyro just kinda stayed quiet. He'd only talk in the cutscenes. Now, every now and then, Spyro would talk back to the NPCs and keep the conversation going. Even Sparks likes to chime in every now and then. It's a really nice detail that adds more character to Spyro that I actually wish future games will do. And Sparks still talks in that really cute bug-like way. And sometimes he does this.
Yeah, tell me about it. Hi!
People want this. The Speedway levels are back and they're the same, just slower somehow. Besides getting the glitch where I got stuck in third place and couldn't do anything about it, I also turned Spyro into a jackhammer. Again, these just happen. If you think that's weird, check out this clip. I'm not gonna say anything. I don't need to. So much happened within the span of a few seconds. I was speechless. I honestly thought I wouldn't get any worse than the T-posing, but it just kept happening. Now, all of these glitches are mainly harmless. Nothing that blocks progression and prevents you from having fun. Except when the game likes to continuously clip you through the same fucking platform every time you jump off of it. This is what almost broke me. I was screen sharing this with some buddies on Discord so they can attest to this. I was losing my mind. It just kept fucking happening. And no, this isn't an emulator glitch. This happens on real hardware too. Sometimes it's one after the other, sometimes it just doesn't happen at all. I kept clipping again and again and again. I had to jump over the spot in order to reach the other side. And after that, I was pushed over the line even more when I had to get this stupid Dragonfly on these platforms that don't even fucking work right. People want this.
Why? Why do people want this game remade for the current gen? I'll never understand it. It baffles me. Slow gameplay, broken mechanics, bad music, but hey, it's not all bad. I like some of the level ideas. The Thieves' Den is a really cool idea, even if the mechanic they make you use in that level is fucking broken and doesn't even work. I like the idea of having the baskets and the gems run away from you. It's adorable. I like that idea. But that's it. Just an idea. Nothing else. So to understand this more, I went to Twitter and made a poll. Again, thank you Canadian Guy A and Spyro Universe. I said, do you genuinely enjoy Spyro Enter the Dragonfly? If so, please explain why. I got 1,214 votes. Guys, holy hell, thank you so much to everyone who participated.
As we can see, as expected, no was the winning vote. But I can't ignore this huge chunk of people that voted yes. This is way more than I thought it would be. And diving into all the explanations, it looks like the general reason people like this game is either A, they grew up with it, which is to be expected, B, it's just more Spyro, or C, people just actually love this game for what it is.
Now let me be clear. You're free to like whatever you want. I shouldn't have to be the one to tell you that. It's kind of common sense. But you can love a broken game as much as you love a masterpiece. I find it kind of hard to, but you can. The thing I don't get is why people want this to get remade. Enter the Dragonfly Reignited would be a horrible business decision. This game already has so much hate attached to its name, why remake something that people generally hate? It's not gonna sell. Even if you think it is, in reality, it's not. I hear you saying, but what if we fixed the game and got rid of all the bugs and made the gameplay better and all that stuff, but what good would that make? Hey, we fixed Enter the Dragonfly! You mean that game that sucked ass? No, I'm good. But it's fixed though! Are we getting a new game? It's fixed! Die! But I fully support taking ideas from past Spyro games, this one included, and adding them to future games. For example, I love the fact that Spyro talks to NPCs. I also love some of the level ideas like the Thieves' Den and the Farmer level. Those are really cool ideas. I also love the concept of dragons growing up and getting their own dragonflies. There's a lot of good stuff in here. Good stuff that deserves to be in a better game. Don't remake this. Take from this. Take the good from this. Leave this in the past and move forward. Hell, Canadian Guy A said it the best. He has a really good video that I suggest you check out after this about the critical and financial response of post-PS1 Spyro and Crash. We both have the same point. No more remakes. It's time to move on. But I get it. You love this game. You adored this game and you have so many memories with it. You just want to see your favorite game get the same love that Reignited got. The problem is that it doesn't deserve it. Spyro 1 through 3 were brought back to prove interest in the franchise so we can move it forward, not to keep remaking games. It's time to let it go. Speaking of letting it go, what should you do? Shelve it or trash it? There is a big following for this game. I know I've addressed it this entire video, but like I said, this is a fair and honest review. There are some really good ideas in here. They're cute and I love them, but that's it. They're just ideas. So, with that said, trash it. I missed.